Hello everyone, welcome to Apollo School Online. This is a drawing that we're gonna do for today, and let's see what kind of tool you need for this class. Are you ready? Let's begin. Okay, today we're gonna do the watercolor. Alright, so don't worry about the water, don't worry about the color for now. We just want to do the pencil outline at the beginning. Alright, so first of all, we have to check out our paper. You must have the watercolor paper. That's a special paper for the watercolor. So you will see watercolor on the cover. Alright, and remember the mixed media paper. We can do the dry media work on the mixed media paper, and we also can do some light watercolor on the mixed media paper. Alright, so either one, watercolor papers or mixed media paper. So can we use the printing paper for this time? No, we couldn't, alright, because that's too thin, and when we apply the water on the paper, it will be red. Alright, so no printing paper. Only watercolor paper and mixed media paper. Alright, so we don't need to worry about the watercolor and the brushes. For now, you only need to have a pencils, because we're gonna do the outlines, and erasers, the sharpeners in case. So how about the tracing markers? We can keep that at the ends. If you can't make the color look clean, you can make the color stay inside, then we can trace after the joints. Alright, same thing, we need to have two different sizes of the markers. Alright, even we might not use it, but we will see. Alright, the thin one and the thick one. Alright, so make sure you have the right papers. And we can start. Alright, let's see. We're gonna do one gummy bear on one side, and you're gonna do your random candy on the left hand side. Okay, so we only have the gummy bear what looks like the same, and the other candy will be yours idea. Okay, so let's see the gummy bear. Alright, so first of all, we want to do it looks like the 3D. Okay, so I want to do a little bit like with the angles. So diagonal line close to the left, close to the right. One more. We start with the layout first. So my gummy bear will be like this big. It's much bigger than my hands, right? The box is much bigger than my hands. All right. Alright, so that's divided. A little bit half and a little bit higher right here. That's a half and a little bit higher. That's where is the head. How big is the head? And those part are the body. So let's see. How can I do the head first? First of all, we're gonna do the head. Don't do it too like the oval, like the circle. We have the ears. The ears will locate at the corner of the box. So you locate at the box. The ears. Ears at the corner. Alright, and the nose at the middle. Small nose. Eye. Eyebrow, something a little bit pops out right here. Two. So that's a head. I'm gonna pause right here. Alright, let's do the hands. The hand will be like the circle. See, it reached the head line. And below the center lines. That's my first one. On the same level high. Okay, and the legs, I make it a little bit bigger than the hands. Right at the corner. Okay, and that's it. I can remove the box. I can grab my erasers to remove the box before I start to do more detail. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see more clear. Alright, so now we have to join the heads to the body. So I do the curve line around the hands. Then touch the leg. It's gummy bear, right? So it have to be like soft. It looks like that. And the base. So nothing straight. That's the body. Alright, so now we have to do the 3D lines. First of all, for the arm, curve line on the top, curve line on the top, and on the right hand side, we have to do a little bit at the side here. Left. Okay, and under the heads, the legs. Alright, not too much detail. Under the ears, on the side of the gummy bear. On the side of the ears. On the side of the nose. That's it. Simple gummy bear. And you have to make the pencil line become very, very bright. Because they don't really have a very clear shapes for the gummy bear. I'll try to make this a little bit bright. So only I can see it. That's good enough. Alright, we're done with the gummy bear. So now I want you to focus on the candy that you want. The minimum I want to see 3. 3 random candy on the side of the gummy bear. Alright, so before we start to do the color, make sure you erase, remove the extra pencil lines. Okay, then we can start to prepare our tool for next section. Okay, so after we done the pencil outline for our watercolors, okay, so let's see the tools that we need to use for the coloring. Okay, first of all, we are not using the pencil to do the color. We need to use the brush. So make sure the brush is very soft, okay? If you have the brush like the grass, very dry and very hard, that is not for the watercolor. That's for painting. Alright, so make sure your watercolor brush is correct. It has to be soft. Alright, so I need to have a big one, the middle one, and the teeny tiny one for the small area. Alright, so that's the brushes. Of course, we need to have the water, and I would suggest that you can have 2 containers for the water, and make sure they are the cool water when we need to. One for washings, one for apply on the watercolors. Okay, so we can keep the one of them looks always clean, and one for washing the dirty colors. Alright, so it's better to have 2. Alright, and we also need to have the towel. Alright, so this is the fabric ones. I can reuse it all the time, so that's my watercolor. So you can see how dirty is it. Okay, and if you don't have the towel just for watercolor, you can have your paper napkin, but better to have the one that you can reuse it. Alright, so we don't waste anything. Alright, so of course you need to have the color. If sometimes the color looks like to the tube like this, you can scratch on the tray that you need. Alright, so that's a container for my watercolors. And we need to mix the color or create the color, so you need to have a plate or a tray. Okay, so we always mix the color on the tray and the plate, so make sure you have the plate for that. Okay, alright, so that's it. You have everything: brushes with different sizes, water, colors, towels, and the tray. Alright, when you're ready, then we can start to do the colors. Okay, let's do the gummy bear all together. Then I'm gonna show you different types of candy on the left side. Okay, let's focus on the gummy bear. So you can choose any color because they are colorful, right? So I'm gonna choose the purple, but up to you, your choice. But I feel like this purple is too bluish. So I'm gonna add the red color. Let me see, where's my red? This one. Alright? But just every time, just a little bit. Even my bear is like this big, but the color I prepare is just like a right size. Very small. Alright? So let's see. So I want to prepare the color. So apply the clear water on the tray. So you see we have the water on this a little bit. Add in the purple, mix with the water. So this one is too bluish. I want to make it more warm. So I add in a little bit red into it. See, I changed the purple. So that's why I like the watercolor. I always can create the new colors. Alright. So it has to be very liquid, like the juice, watery. So you have to make sure you mix the color with the water properly. Alright, so let me zoom in. Let's see how can we do it. Simple. Alright, I trace around because it's a little bit clear. They're gummy, right? So they are not really has a solid color. You can see through it a little bit stuff. So I trace around. Wash my brush. Try my brush. Alright, try my brush. I don't have too much water. Then I bring the color to the middle. Bring the color to the middle. Just skip the face, the nose, the eye. We have to skip in. Color around. So I will have the color volume. Dark, medium, light. Alright, too much water, then I dry my brush, remove the water so I don't have the water pump. Alright, and I feel like my shadow color is not dark enough, so I can trace around again. So my dark color will go darker. So I finished the head. Alright, then I can do the hands. Same thing, even they are the same color, but I want to show they are different parts. So I have to skip the body and do the hand first. Do the hand first. Alright, wash my brush, release the water, and bring the color to the middle with the clear brush. Alright, so now you can repeat the same thing. So finish the head, finish the hands, finish the feet, then going up to do the ears. Then I think we probably can start to do the body or the face. Alright, so now you can begin. Alright, so gummy bear, whatever which part they are, the leg is leg, stomach, all of them have to be the color volume. You have to color from dark, medium, light, so you have to blend in the color. Imagine that we do the sketch. Where is the light coming from? Where it has a highlight? And the opposite side gonna has the shadow. Okay? So focus on your gummy bear. Keep everything, every part separately. Okay? Even they are the same colors. Alright, so let's see. What color you have, I want to start with the shadow color first. So I'm gonna use my green colors. Alright, green plus purple, then you got the gray. Just a little bit green into purple. So that's the shadow color what we are looking for. Every time just a little bit onto the color we want. That's a great color. Green plus purple. More water, okay? So now, same thing. If you have candy like this, you color at the side, like the cylinder, and blend in the color down. We color on the top a little bit shadow. Alright, if you have the wet candy, just add in the shadow on the wrinkle. So it looks like the wrinkles right there, a little bit here. And blend in the color. Blending in. If you have the plexi bag, let it zoom in a little bit. Alright, same thing, we use the gray colors. At somewhere, tracing the back, the wrinkle, tracing the back, a little bit. Alright, and wash the brush, dry the brush, blend in the shadow so they won't be looks too clear. They will have a little bit dark, medium, light. Alright, after we done the shadowing, we have to wait this totally dry. So at the same time, I can add the shadow for the gummy bear on the side. Wash, blend in the shadow so it looks blurred around. Okay, so next part we have to wait is totally dry so we can apply any colors we want. Alright, so during our waiting, I just prepare the colors for my candy. So the candy could be any colors and try to make them look colorful, and you don't need that much because they are very small, right? So just a little bit, we don't waste the colors. I just use a little bit. I have red already. Okay. So, for example, My shadow is totally dry, so I can color this candy. Right? I'm gonna use the red one. Same thing, you have to mix with the water. Make sure they are liquid. Okay, nothing feels sticky. Alright, have to be like the juice. So we just apply on top of the paper. Then let's see the difference between something that we don't have the shadow and something we have the shadow. Because the watercolor is a very thin medium, which means they are not that rich, so we can see the shadow below, right? So even I apply the color on it, I still can make the color looks a little bit grayish at the bottom, right? So that's why we are doing the shadow before we apply the color, okay? But if you apply the color on it and the shadow is totally covered by the one you are applying, which means it is too rich. You have to add more water into it. Make the color more thin so the base color, the shadow color will show up even you apply the color on it. Okay? Alright, so now you can begin to do the colors.